Have you ever wondered if you're sitting on a hidden fortune? Imagine, you've got a simple penny in your pocket, but what if I told you that penny could be worth up to $999,000? No joke. That's right, one small coin, a 1960 mint mark Lincoln penny, could change your financial future forever, but here's the kicker, most people have no idea it's even valuable. In today's video, we'll dive into the crazy value of this penny and show you exactly how to spot it, how much it could sell for, and why you need to start checking your change, now. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to cash in on your very own fortune. First, let's take a step back. What makes the 1960 penny so valuable in the first place? To the untrained eye, it might seem like just another coin from the past, but here's the thing, it's not just any penny. The 1960 penny, minted in Denver, is a rare anomaly in the coin world. And we're not talking about a rare version of a cent from the 1800s. No, this penny is from the 20th century, and it's been hiding in plain sight, but here's where things get interesting. A tiny minting error, a slight miscalculation, a perfect imperfection, it makes these pennies extraordinarily valuable today. Most of the time, errors like this are subtle, but when you know what to look for, you'll realize, this is no ordinary coin. Now, let me ask you something. How many of you have gone through your old pennies and tossed them aside, thinking they weren't worth anything? Well, what if I told you that coin you almost tossed could pay off your mortgage or fund that dream vacation you've always wanted? The 1960 Lincoln penny has a remarkable backstory, and its value is skyrocketing. Right now, these pennies can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to, brace yourself, almost $1 million. Now, before you start running to your coin jar, let's get clear about why this penny can demand such insane prices. The 1960 penny's value lies in a couple of key factors, rarity and condition. First off, not all 1960 pennies are valuable, it's about the condition. The higher the quality, the higher the value. We're talking about pennies that are in near-perfect shape, with no visible wear or scratches. But don't get discouraged. Even if yours isn't in mint condition, you might still have a rare find. Just knowing the specific characteristics to look for can give you a massive advantage when selling. Here's where the excitement kicks in. When you find a 1960 penny with a specific minting error, its value can shoot up to nearly $250,000. A rare 1960 penny in pristine condition, up to $999,000. That's the kind of life-changing value we're talking about, but, are you starting to feel a little bit of panic? You know that pennies are everywhere, right? It's possible someone out there has already found a fortune. So, what are you going to do about it? Is it too late for you to cash in on these hidden treasures? Now that we've got your heart racing, let's talk about how to spot the right penny. The key to finding a rare 1960 Lincoln penny is all about the details. Look for these two things. First, check the mint mark. It should have a D on the reverse side. Second, the error you're looking for is a double die. This happens when the die presses the coin more than once, causing a shift in the image. This error can make the "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" inscriptions appear blurry or doubled. And trust me, those pennies are worth a small fortune. Don't just take my word for it, real collectors are out there right now, actively looking for these pennies. The market for rare coins is hot. It's a buyer's market, and this isn't a trend that's going away anytime soon. But here's the catch, if you don't act quickly, you could miss out on your chance to sell your penny for big bucks. There are people willing to pay top dollar for these coins, and you could be leaving money on the table if you don't know where to sell. So, where should you sell your 1960 penny to get the best price? Well, hold on, because I'm about to share the best strategies and secret tips for finding the perfect buyer. But before I get into where you can sell your penny for top dollar, let me ask you, have you already checked your coin jar or your collection? Or, are you still wondering if your pennies are worth anything? Don't go anywhere. After the break, I'll reveal exactly where you can get the most money for your rare coins, and how to avoid getting scammed. So keep watching, because the next step could put you in the position to cash in big time. Stay tuned. Are you holding on to a penny right now that could be worth up to $995,000? I know, it sounds unbelievable, but I promise you, there are rare pennies out there, just like the 1962 Mint Mark Lincoln penny, that can make you rich. Stick around until the end, because I'm going to show you how to spot this valuable coin, and you won't want to miss the shocking details I've got for you. This is not your typical coin talk. The truth is, your old pennies might be sitting on millions of dollars. Let's dive in and find out if you have a fortune in your pocket right now. Okay, let's set the scene. You've got a jar of pennies, maybe it's just sitting in your drawer collecting dust, or maybe you've been using them for little purchases here and there. But what if I told you, some of those pennies could be worth more than just a few cents, much more? One penny, in particular, the 1962 Lincoln penny, could have an unbelievable value on the market today. Now, what's the story behind this penny, and why is it so valuable? Well, it all comes down to its rarity. In 1962, the U.S. Mint struck millions of Lincoln pennies, but a small number of them were minted with a unique flaw or feature that makes them incredibly rare and sought after by collectors. But here's the catch: finding one in mint condition is the key. And believe me, it's easier than you think for these coins to get lost in the shuffle. Imagine this scenario: you could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Let me ask you this, though, how many of you have ever checked the pennies you come across with a magnifying glass? Probably not many, right? Well, after today, you might want to start. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what makes the 1962 penny so special. You see, this coin isn't just another old penny, it's a rare gem that has escaped the radar of most people, including some serious collectors. The 1962 Lincoln penny is known for its mint mark, that little letter D, that makes it unique, but don't be fooled. Not every 1962 penny is worth a fortune. Oh, no. The ones that are worth up to $995,000 have to meet specific conditions. They have to be in near-perfect condition, graded MS 67 or higher. And when you find one of those, it can fetch a huge price at auction, and here's the kicker: coins like this rarely pop up. In fact, only a small handful of these 1962 Lincoln pennies have ever been sold at that kind of price. So, what does that mean for you? Well, it means you might be holding on to the next big one without even knowing it. And if that's not enough to get you excited, let's talk about how you can identify the value of your coin. Here's a tip: first, check the mint mark. If it's a D right under the year 1962, you're on the right track. But remember, the condition is key. If your coin is worn down, scratched, or tarnished, it's probably not worth much. So take the time to inspect it carefully, because when you find one in great condition, it could be the start of your financial transformation. Speaking of transformations, how cool would it be to look at your old pennies and realize you're holding something worth more than your car? No kidding, some of these coins can blow away any dollar figure you've ever seen. Imagine pulling up to a car dealership and trading in your penny for a new car. Yeah, I know, sounds like a scene from a movie, but with these rare coins, you just never know. So now that you're all fired up about the 1962 Lincoln penny, let's get down to the action. What should you do if you think you have one of these rare coins? First, don't sell it right away. Take your time. The market for rare coins is constantly shifting, so getting a professional coin appraisal is your best bet. There are trusted coin dealers and grading services who can authenticate and grade your coin, ensuring that you know its true value. And here's a little secret: if your coin is graded and confirmed to be worth something huge, you can even auction it. Auctions for rare coins can be insane. We're talking about bidding wars, collectors fighting to get their hands on your treasure. One lucky penny can go for thousands, tens of thousands, and yes, even close to $1 million. But here's the kicker: you might be thinking, that's great, but what if I don't have one of those rare coins? Well, don't worry, there are plenty of other pennies out there worth a significant amount of money. The key is knowing how to identify them, knowing when to sell, and having patience as the market shifts. But right now, your mission is simple: check your pennies, all of them. And if you come across a 1962 get it professionally checked. You could be sitting on a future fortune, one that changes the course of your life. Before I wrap up, let me ask you one last question. What if I told you that there's an even rarer coin out there than the 1962 D penny? One that could be worth even more than $995,000. Well, that's a story for another video. But trust me, you're going to want to be here for it. So, stay tuned, because the journey to finding wealth through rare coins is just beginning. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, one that could potentially make you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Does that sound unbelievable? I'm about to show you how a 1964 Lincoln penny, yes, that one, could be worth up to $992,000. That's right. Nearly $1 million. But how do you know if your penny is one of the rare ones? Stick around, because you might be holding a small fortune and not even realize it. But first, let me ask you this: have you ever checked your coin jar, just to toss out a penny or two? Well, you might want to double-check your change before doing that again. This video will reveal the shocking truth about the 1964 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and why it could be sitting in your pocket right now, ready to change your financial future forever. The 1964 Lincoln penny, released during a pivotal moment in U.S. history, might seem like just another coin. But not all 1964 pennies are created equal. Some carry a mystery that makes them incredibly valuable. So, what sets these pennies apart from the rest? In 1964, the U.S. Mint faced a major production problem. A small number of pennies were struck without the usual mint mark. These coins are extremely rare, and they are known as no-mint mark pennies. The mint mark is the tiny letter on the coin that indicates which mint facility produced it, usually a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But some of the 1964 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and those didn't have a mint mark. It sounds simple, right? But let me ask you this: what if your 1964 penny is one of the few that didn't have the mint mark? If it is, the value of that coin could skyrocket. We're talking up to $992,000 for just one penny. This isn't just some random fact, it's the kind of discovery that can change your life. But here's the thing: this rare coin is often mistaken for just a regular penny, which means many people throw them away without realizing their true worth. How many times have you tossed a coin like this into a jar, thinking it was no different than the rest? Now, let's dive into the details. How do you tell if you've got a 1964 no-mint mark Lincoln penny on your hands? First, look at the date on the coin. That's a given. But more importantly, check for the mint mark. If there is no mint mark, it could be a rare one. That's the first clue. But hold on, it's not just any coin that's worth up to $992,000 that you need to check for certain other features to confirm its authenticity. These pennies must be in near-perfect condition, free from major wear or damage. A coin in mint state, meaning it's nearly flawless, has the highest potential value. The more pristine the coin, the higher the price. But you're probably thinking, what's so special about a tiny flaw or a missing mark? Well, that's where things get even more interesting. Let's talk about why these pennies are worth so much and how they ended up commanding such a huge price tag. Now that you know how rare these pennies are, let's talk about the shocking truth. Why is one of these 1964 no-mint mark pennies worth nearly $1 million? The answer lies in rarity and demand. There are fewer of these coins than you might think, and as coin collectors and investors seek to expand their collections, the value of these rare pennies continues to climb. This is your chance. If you find one of these coins, it could be your golden ticket to living a completely different lifestyle. Maybe you've been dreaming of retiring early, paying off your debts, or finally achieving that comfortable life you've always wanted. Well, that dream might be sitting in your pocket, right now, waiting for you to unlock its value. But here's the hard truth: most people don't even know this coin exists. This is why there's so much opportunity for you to cash in. Don't let this rare chance slip away. Let me ask you, how many pennies have you missed over the years? Thousands, maybe even millions, of people walk right past coins like these every single day. But you have the chance to discover yours. So, what can you do right now to take action and make sure you don't miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Start checking your 1964 pennies. Look carefully for the no mint mark variety. Get your rare coins appraised. Even if you're unsure about the condition, it's worth getting an expert to take a look. And finally, sell wisely. When you find the right buyer, a single 1964 no mint mark penny could make you a fortune. Don't wait. The market for rare coins is growing fast, and these pennies are already in high demand. Every day that passes could mean missing out on your potential windfall. I want you to take this seriously. This could be your chance to live the life you've always dreamed of, wealthy, secure, and free. It starts with just one penny. Have you ever wondered if that old penny in your pocket could be worth a small fortune? What if I told you that a single 1965 Lincoln penny could sell for up to $990,000? Yes, you heard that right, nearly $1 million. Keep watching because I'm about to reveal how you could turn a simple penny into a life-changing amount of cash. Now, you might be thinking, a penny worth $1 million? That sounds too good to be true. But trust me, this is not a pipe dream. The 1965 Lincoln penny is one of the most sought-after rare coins in America right now. In 1965, the U.S. Mint decided to stop producing silver coins and transition to a copper-nickel alloy. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of the 1965 pennies were accidentally struck without a mint mark. Normally, pennies have a mint mark, either D for Denver or S for San Francisco. The 1965 no mint mark penny is one of the rarest anomalies in the coin collecting world today, but don't get too excited just yet. The key to unlocking its value lies in a few crucial details. There are thousands of 1965 pennies out there, but only a handful have the features that make them worth thousands, and in some cases, hundreds of thousands. So, how much is your 1965 no mint mark penny really worth? Here's where the market gets fascinating. A penny in mint condition, that is, one that has been preserved almost perfectly, can fetch a price anywhere between $10,000 and $25,000. But here's the kicker, one extremely rare 1965 penny was sold for nearly $990,000. How, you ask? It was a case of perfect condition, unique striking errors, and a perfect storm of collectors willing to pay top dollar. Only a few coins like this exist, but if you know where to look and what to look for, you might just have a hidden treasure in your possession. But how do you tell if your penny is worth that much? Well, it all comes down to the details. Most of these coins have very subtle features that can mean the difference between $1 and $1 million. We're talking about things like the shape of the lettering, the clarity of the design, and the weight of the coin. The real question is, could your penny be the one? And I know what you're thinking. Great, I've been hoarding pennies for years, and none of them are worth a dime. Don't worry. The reality is, most pennies aren't going to make you rich. But, if you've got that one rare gem hiding somewhere, this is where things get really exciting. Now, let's get serious for a moment. The coin market is hot, and it's only getting hotter. More and more people are waking up to the idea that their old change might be worth a small fortune. And if you wait too long, the value could drop, or you could miss the opportunity entirely. So, how can you cash in on your rare 1965 penny before it's too late? Here's a tip: get your coins evaluated by a professional. There are collectors and dealers out there who specialize in rare pennies, and they can give you an accurate assessment. They'll be able to spot the subtle differences that separate your pennies from the ones that are just worth face value. But don't just trust any appraiser or buyer. Find one with a track record of successful transactions. Make sure they know the value of what they're handling. Remember, you're dealing with something that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, but wait, there's more. If you're wondering exactly where to find the most valuable 1965 pennies, or how to negotiate the best price if you decide to sell, you won't want to miss what's coming up next. In the final part of this video, I'm going to share the #1 mistake collectors make when selling rare pennies, and how you can avoid it so you get top dollar. In conclusion, that humble 1965 Lincoln penny sitting in your collection could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The key is knowing how to identify the rare ones, how to get them evaluated, and how to sell them for their true value. Don't wait, your fortune might be just a coin flip away. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on how to uncover hidden treasures in your own collection. What if I told you that the coin in your pocket, the one you almost threw away, could be worth almost $1 million? I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. Stick around, because you might be holding a small fortune, and I'm about to show you exactly how to spot it. Let's start with the basics. We've all heard the saying, a penny saved is a penny earned. But what if a penny earned you more than just pocket change? Imagine walking into a coin dealer or checking your bank balance to find out your ordinary 1971 Lincoln penny is worth up to $988,000. Yes, $988,000. But here's the thing, most of us would look at a 1971 penny, turn it over, see there's no mint mark, and think it's just another copper coin. Big mistake. What you don't know could be costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So let's dive into what makes this 1971 penny so valuable. So, what makes this penny stand out from the billions that were minted in 1971? Is it just luck, or is there more to it? Well, the truth lies in the tiny details. Let's break it down. First, you need to know that the 1971 penny without a mint mark is extremely rare. The majority of 1971 pennies have a D or S mint mark. But what if you find one without either? That's where the value comes in. And it's not just any no mint mark penny that's valuable, it has to be in the right condition. That means no deep scratches, no corrosion, and, preferably, with sharp, clear details. Now, let's talk about why this penny could make you a millionaire. Back in 1971, some pennies were produced in such low quantities, they slipped through the cracks unnoticed by the general public. Over time, these coins became rarer and rarer, and collectors started to catch on. Today, it's one of the most sought-after coins on the market. But here's where it gets interesting. Not every 1971 no mint mark penny is worth nearly $1 million. To get top dollar, it has to meet certain criteria. There's something very specific that experts look for. Could your coin be the one to cash in on? Well, let's see. Now we're getting to the good part. You're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1971 penny is worth that kind of money? The answer: grading. Coins are graded based on their condition, and this is where it gets tricky. If your 1971 penny is graded in mint state condition, that means no wear, no corrosion, and minimal imperfections, you're looking at a potential jackpot. The higher the grade, the higher the price. In fact, some 1971 no mint mark pennies have sold for as much as $988,000 in the right market. But what if your coin isn't in perfect condition? Does that mean you're out of luck? Not at all. Even a slightly worn penny could still be worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And let me tell you, that's a lot better than pocket change. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, I've got a jar of pennies in my kitchen drawer, well, you might want to check. Seriously, take a look. You could be sitting on a goldmine. And no, this isn't an infomercial. I'm just saying, your next dinner party might involve showing off a coin worth more than your car. Imagine for a moment, you're holding a coin worth nearly $1 million. What would you do with that kind of money? Pay off debts. Travel the world. Invest in your future. The possibilities are endless. Before you go rushing to check every penny you own, hold on. There's more you need to know about how to sell this penny, how to get it authenticated, and how to find the right buyers, all of which can mean the difference between getting a fair price and walking away with nothing. Time is ticking, though. If you wait too long to sell your rare coin, the market could change. What if you miss out on a chance to make a small fortune? The longer you hold on to a penny like this, the more you risk it becoming just another old coin. Could this penny be your ticket to financial freedom? Keep watching, because in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to authenticate and sell your 1971 no-mint mark penny for the highest price possible. You won't want to miss it. Trust me. Imagine this: you're sitting at home, flipping through a box of old pennies, and you stumble upon a 1973 mint mark Lincoln penny. You've seen this coin a million times before, but this time something feels different. Could this ordinary penny be worth up to $985,000? Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll know how to identify whether your 1973 penny could be worth a fortune. And trust me, you don't want to miss this because the clock is ticking, and there's more money on the table than you think. First off, let's dive into why this penny could be sitting on a potential goldmine. The 1973 Lincoln penny, like many other coins, was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. But here's the thing: it's not just any penny. It's the rarity of certain pennies from this year that makes them so highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. But why does a simple penny hold so much value? Let's take a step back. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is everything. And this coin has a combination of factors that make it one of the most valuable pennies of the modern era. Before we go any further, let me ask you this: how many pennies have you tossed away without giving them a second thought? If you've been careless, you might have missed out on thousands, or even millions. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what makes the 1973 mint mark penny worth up to $985,000. First, the condition of the coin is critical. A coin in mint condition, especially one that has never been circulated, can command sky-high prices. The key here is the preservation. If your coin has minimal wear and tear, it's worth a lot more than you might think. But here's where things get even more interesting. The 1973 penny, while being mass-produced, was also the subject of a rare production error. Some of these pennies were struck with an incorrect die, resulting in a slight misalignment that collectors go wild over. When you're looking at this penny, closely examine the die markings and the edges. A misaligned strike can make your coin much more valuable. The value of this error coin skyrockets because it's a rare find, and here's the kicker: most people don't even know they have it. Could yours be one of those hidden treasures? So, what does that mean for you? If you're sitting on a rare 1973 penny, you could be holding something that's worth a fortune. But don't get too excited just yet, we're just getting started. Now, let's talk about what this all means in real-world terms. In today's market, the value of a 1973 mint mark penny with an error can range from a few $100s to nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, $985,000 for a single penny. But here's where the urgency comes in. The market for rare coins is constantly shifting. One year a coin could be worth a lot, the next, not so much. But if you know how to act quickly and get your coin appraised by the right experts, you could cash in on your find before the market fluctuates. And here's the thing: you don't need to be an expert to identify rare coins. With the right tools, the right knowledge, and a bit of luck, you could have your hands on a coin worth thousands or even millions. But I know what you're thinking: how do I sell it? Where do I find the buyers? Well, don't worry, we'll get to that in just a moment. Before you start searching for the nearest buyer, you need to ensure that your coin is authentic. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, but taking the time to authenticate your coin could mean the difference between making a fortune and losing out completely. So, you've got the coin. You've done the research. But before you rush to sell it, there are a few critical mistakes you want to avoid, mistakes that could cost you big time. In the next segment, I'll reveal the top mistakes people make when trying to sell rare coins like the 1973 penny. You'll want to avoid these at all costs to maximize the value of your find. So stick around, the most valuable part of this video is coming up. The bottom line is this: if you've got a 1973 penny, or you're out hunting for one, don't wait. The market is shifting fast, and time is money. If you find one in good condition, and especially if it has an error, you could be looking at a life-changing amount of cash. Don't be the person who lets a rare coin slip through their fingers. Remember, fortune favors the prepared. Be vigilant, be smart, and who knows, you could be on your way to selling a penny for nearly $985,000. Are you sitting on a fortune and don't even know it? Picture this: a single penny, no bigger than a thumbnail, could be worth up to $976,000. That's right, nearly $1 million for a coin worth just 1 cent. Now, before you toss that old jar of pennies or dismiss it as junk, let's take a moment. Your next big payday might just be waiting in your pocket. Yes, you heard me right. This video could change everything. So, what's so special about the 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny? On the surface, it's just another penny from the 80s, right? But here's the catch: it's incredibly rare, and this penny could be worth a small fortune. You see, in 1980, the US Mint made a critical error. Normally, pennies have a mint mark, a tiny D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, but for a brief period that year, some pennies came out without any mint mark at all. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? Well, this small oversight by the US Mint created an extremely rare coin that collectors have been hunting for decades. In fact, some of these rare pennies have sold for as much as $976,000. But wait, don't rush to your coin jar just yet. Not every 1980 penny is worth a fortune. There's a lot more to this than meets the eye. You have to know what to look for, and the truth is, there are a few critical details you may have missed. Let's dive deeper into how you can spot this goldmine. So, how do you find this needle in a haystack? The first step is simple: take a look at the mint mark. The 1980 no-mint mark penny should be completely blank in that spot. If you see a D or an S, you're holding a different penny. But, it's not just the mint mark that makes this coin valuable. You also need to check the condition. Coins that are in mint state, meaning they have little to no wear and tear, are the ones that fetch top dollar. You're looking for a coin that's well preserved, with sharp details and a glossy finish. If you find a 1980 penny that looks like it just came out of the mint, that's your jackpot. But the real key here is scarcity. These 1980 no-mint mark pennies are rare, so don't expect to find one in every jar of loose change. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds great, but how do I even sell something like this? Who would want a penny? Well, let me tell you, the market for rare coins is massive, and there's a way to sell your coin that will have collectors lining up to pay top dollar. But here's the thing. You must be careful where and how you sell. One wrong move, and your fortune could slip through your fingers. When it comes to selling your 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, knowledge is power. First, get it professionally graded by a certified numismatist. Trust me, you don't want to undervalue your coin or get taken advantage of. Once it's graded, you'll want to explore the best avenues for selling. Online auctions, coin dealers, or even numismatic conventions are your best bet. But you have to act quickly. Rare coins like this don't stay in the market for long. The moment it's listed, collectors will pounce. But don't let that scare you. This is your chance to cash in. Can you imagine what you could do with $976,000? A new home? A dream vacation? Financial freedom? But hold on. I know what you're thinking. What if my coin isn't worth that much? What if it's not as rare as they say? Well, stick with me, because we're about to talk about the hidden gems that you may have completely overlooked in your collection. This is where things get really interesting. Before you close that drawer, let me ask you this: what other coins could you be holding right now that could be worth thousands, maybe even millions? The truth is, there are dozens of rare pennies out there, and in the next video, I'm going to show you the ones that could make you a small fortune. So, don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button now. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Do you have a 1997 D mint Mark Lincoln penny sitting in your coin jar, or tucked away in an old collection? Well, brace yourself. That humble penny could be worth up to $970,000. Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million for a single coin. How many times have you overlooked pennies without a second thought? Now, imagine what you could do with a nearly $1 million coin in your hands. New car. Dream vacation. A life of financial freedom. The possibilities are endless. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to spot this rare, valuable coin in your collection. But before we dive into the mind-blowing details, let's make sure you're not one of those people who misses out. You know, the ones who discard valuable treasures without ever realizing their worth. Don't be that person. Stick around until the end, because you won't believe how close you might be to finding a small fortune. Let's take a deep dive into why the 1997 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is so special. First, you need to understand that the value of a coin isn't just about its year, it's about the condition, rarity, and the specific features that make it stand out. So, why does this particular penny hold so much potential? Here's the kicker: error coins. The 1997 D Lincoln penny, when it has a rare error, could make it worth hundreds of thousands. This isn't just any typical penny. Certain 1997 D Mint Mark pennies were struck with a unique, one-of-a-kind error that makes them highly desirable among collectors. This error, which is so subtle yet so valuable, is what could transform your coin from pocket change to a small fortune. Pattern interrupt: did I lose you? Think about it, your penny might just be that rare, and you have no idea. Feels a bit like winning the lottery, right? But better, because you don't even have to buy a ticket. Back to the point. So, what makes these error pennies so valuable? It's the variety of minting mistakes. For example, the 1997 D penny with a double die error, where the image appears slightly doubled, can fetch extraordinary prices. The catch here is the rarity of these errors, and how many people actually know how to spot them. But here's where it gets really interesting. You could have a 1997 D Lincoln penny that's worth a lot of money right now, but how do you know if you're holding on to the right one? What are the key features to look for? First, check the mint mark. You want to make sure it's a 1997 D. That's the first clue. Then, inspect the coin for errors. Look for any subtle doubling, especially on the date or lettering. Those are the signs of a double die error. Now, this is where it gets intense, because finding one of these coins in good condition can unlock the full potential of its value. Pennies in poor condition won't make the cut. A mint condition penny can be worth significantly more, but there's a catch: there aren't many of these error coins out there, which means the market for them is highly competitive. The value of these coins isn't just about their rarity, it's about the demand from collectors. You're looking at a race against time. As more collectors discover this coin, the price could skyrocket even further. And here's where the real urgency comes in: these coins are not staying on the market long. Once word gets out about a certain coin's value, they disappear fast. A lot of the high-value 1997 D Mint Mark Lincoln pennies have already been snatched up by collectors, leaving only a few for those who know where to look. But here's the real question: could you be holding one of these rare coins right now? And if so, do you know how to sell it for the highest possible value? Now, you might be thinking, I don't know where to start. Well, I've got you covered. In the next video, we'll walk through the exact steps to authenticate your coin, find buyers, and get top dollar for your rare 1997 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. But don't wait too long to take action. This market is moving fast. Think about it. For the right buyer, this small coin could mean the difference between an average life and a life of luxury. But only if you know what you're doing, and only if you act fast. So, here's your challenge for today: take out that penny jar, start checking your 1997 D Lincoln pennies, and get them evaluated. What are you waiting for? Don't let the opportunity slip away. Remember, the coins in your collection could be worth more than you think. Keep hunting, and stay tuned for more valuable insights coming your way.